I've always said that most businesses deserve to starve. If you're struggling or you're having a hard time in this economy, you can blame the White House, you can blame creepy Joe Biden, you can blame the economy. But the truth of the matter, the accurate thinking truth of the matter is a badass world builder makes their own economy. A badass world builder makes their own economy. Good morning. So I'll tell you a few stories of what's happened here over the last few days where I absolutely could not spend my money. I had money to invest, I had money to spend, and because of the sheer utter incompetence of the business and the person running the business, the employees, I was unable to spend my money. And that's what happens when there's a downturn in an economy. When an economy goes south, winter arrives, things tighten up, there's a thinning of the herd. This is what happens. People are unable to spend their money because of incompetence. My mom and dad were here for 9 days, and Krista and I tried to set up a hair appointment for my mom to get her hair, her highlights, and her hair cut. So we contacted a local hair salon here that allegedly had a good reputation. And my wife, Krista, because I don't do any of this online stuff, I refuse to, she contacted the company through their website. And good morning. It was a company called Beauty Mark. And Krista filled out a form first of all, she phoned, and there was no answer during working hours. So the website said they were open. Krista picked up the phone and called them to make an appointment for my mom. Nobody answers the phone. So Krista leaves a message on the voicemail, who she is, what she wants, and her return phone number. And then, to double down, Krista goes on the website and fills out the thing they're so proud of, the online appointment, using the software online appointment. So they make an appointment for my mom. They say, okay, we would like to come in on Saturday at 11 a.m. for a haircut and color. So they fill out that and send that in. And then finally, as Krista triples down and she fills out the email form where it asks her name, her email, her cell number, and comments and questions. And she fills in exactly who she is, what she wants, and the times that would be preferable. So my mom and dad left 5 days ago, and my mom's hair was never cut. My mom's hair was never colored or highlighted. We never received a single phone call from Beauty Mark. We never received a text from Beauty Mark. Krista never received an email from Beauty Mark. Our phone, email, and online appointment calendar requests fell into a deep, dark, black hole, never to be heard from again. Just from going from the pricing on their site, we were a $130 potential client. We had $130, my mom had $130 in her pocket, prepared to give this small business, and she couldn't spend it. They couldn't return the phone call, they couldn't return the email, and they couldn't return the request for booking an appointment to get her hair colored and her hair cut. Now, what's the first thing that happens with a business like that when winter comes and the economy turns tough? Oh boy, it's tough out there, you know. People aren't spending money. We're just getting through the China virus. I can't get anybody good to work for me. I can only attract cheapskates as prospects and clients. On and on, whining, complaining, and excuse making. Did they capture our information? No. We gave it to them, but it's in a deep, black, dark hole as well. They didn't even have the intelligence or the motivation or the integrity to even return our phone call, our email, or our application for the haircut and the hair color. $130 plus tip flushed down the toilet. Now, I don't know about you, but I've been a small business owner for 31 years in multiple different companies, including the barbershop franchise business, and $131 is a lot of money. For me to make $131 in the barbershop business, I would have had to have purchased through marketing, through advertising, good morning, through promotion. I probably paid at least $200 to get that person, my wife Krista, to pick up the phone, to get that prospect, my wife Krista, to send an email, to get that prospect, my wife Krista, my mom, to fill out the appointment form. I probably went negative as the owner of the business. When I was in the insurance business, when I owned McLean Insurance, and we had, at the peak, we had 340 calls a day. 340 calls a day. We answered our phones 24 hours a day live. The phone never rang more than 2 rings, and then it went to voicemail. Or it went to, we didn't have voicemail. It went to a live call answer center. 24 hours a day, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, 2 rings, and you were speaking to a live person. I had 3 full-time receptionists answering phones during the day, capturing information. We didn't have any voicemail. We had 23 employees, and myself included, nobody had a voicemail box. In other words, every single one of those 340 phone calls was answered live by a human being, one of my receptionists. If it rang a third time, it was answered by a live person in the bullpen, which was my live answering service. If a person called at 3 in the morning on Christmas Day, you got a live person. If somebody called at 5:30 a.m., a contractor on the way to work, he got a live person. No matter when you called, you talked to a human being. When any calls were transferred inside my agency, let's say the receptionist takes a phone call and the phone call is transferred to me as an example upstairs. Well, guess what? If I don't answer my extension, another person is found who could help. There wasn't any of this playing phone tag or call back or touch your it. We fixed the problem. We found somebody else who could solve this problem. If it couldn't, then a physical message was taken and an email was sent. So not just an email to return a call, but also one of those pink physical notes. And that way there was nothing that ever fell through the holes. People were talking to a live person every time they called. So in those days, why did I go to such extreme measures? Why did I have 3 receptionists, 16 phone lines, 24-hour phone service? Because it cost me over $350. I'm going to say that again. It cost me over $350 of my money to get that phone to ring with a new prospect. For somebody to pick up the phone and call McLean Insurance to get a quote on their home and car insurance cost me over $350. I used to tell my sales guy, my sales guy, I had 3 of them on the phone. Every single phone call is a $350 investment. That's how much it's cost Michael McLean for you to have this opportunity to quote the home, quote the umbrella, quote the house, quote the cars, quote the wrecked vehicles, the whole kit and caboodle. So that's why we took selling so seriously. That's why we took answering the phone so seriously. I wasn't going to be throwing $350 leads into a black hole. Well, why did it cost $350 to make the phone ring? Well, it cost $350 to make the phone ring because I mailed every single person that lived within 400 miles of our agency. I mailed them 12 flyers a year, physical flyers. They get one in their mailbox. If you live within 400 miles of my agency, you got one of those ugly, golden, save 37% flyers. You got one of those, good morning, every single month, 12 per year. I had to pay for the printing. I had to pay for the postage to get the opportunity to get you to pick up the phone for a comparison quote. I was investing money being on television. I was on radio. I was sending postcards. I was mailing monthly newsletters, 9,000 monthly newsletters every single month to my clients. I was doing promotions like free pizza at Thanksgiving, free pizza for referrals. I was doing $100 jewelry gift certificates, which I shot a video about last week, on and on and on. Over $350 to make the phone ring. Everybody was like, oh, Michael, your agency is a marketing machine. It's a marketing machine, but it was costing me $350 for every lead. And then what did we do? We turned that lead into a client. And then it was in the 2nd year, the 3rd year, the 10th year that we get all of the ROI, the return on investment. We turned a $350 investment to turn that person into a client. And then we nurtured them, we serviced them, we upsold them. We did everything under the sun, and we had a 90% retention. In other words, we would keep 9 clients out of 10 for a decade. We kept 90% of our clients year after year after year. So the lifetime customer value was where we made our money. We didn't make any money the 1st year. We didn't make any money the 2nd year. We started making the money on our client in the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, the 11th. That's lifetime customer value. And like the great Dan Kennedy says, the entrepreneur or business owner who can pay the most money to buy a client wins. So we were in a position where I could invest $350 to get the phone ring. How long would my business survived if I had receptionists who didn't answer the phone? How long would my business have been profitable if I had sales guys who didn't return phone calls, emails, and texts? How long would it have been till I was blaming who was the prime minister, the president, the economy, the community, the mailman, everything and anything, if my $350 leads went in the trash can? So I have zero sympathy for small business owners that waste opportunity. I have zero sympathy for a hair salon that has somebody trying to invest $130 plus tip, and you don't even recognize that they contacted your company. And this is the problem with tomato can entrepreneurs and business owners. When they get these fancy dancy websites that are created by people who have never, ever, ever, ever sold anything online. You'll have an insurance agent or a flooring company or a restaurant, and they'll pay a consultant to build this fancy dancy website for them, right? It's going to change your business. You're going to look so smart. You're going to look like everybody else. You're going to be at the cutting edge of technology. and the website doesn't fucking sell. It doesn't move the prospect closer. And what happens is those websites become a deep black hole of leads. In other words, the person who owns Beauty Mark has no clue that we filled out that form. The person who owns Beauty Mark has no clue that my wife emailed them. Maybe she doesn't check, maybe she doesn't even think about it, but she doesn't know that she lost a $130 plus tip account last Saturday when they were open. And that's the problem, being out of touch. That's why I love the phone so much. That's why I love dialing for dollars. Whenever I was sent in the insurance business or the barbershop business or the hockey business, my number one option was to drive people to the telephone, to drive people to call our 1-800 number so that my people could speak to them like a real live human. We could close 71% of our calls in the insurance business if we had the prospect on the phone. If we dabbled around in online, I didn't have any, you could not get an online quote from me at McLean Insurance. You could not get an online quote. We tried that horse shit for a couple of months, and all it was a bunch of cheapskates getting on there, playing internet, people working for the government and bureaucrats who had nothing better to do. And what were they doing? They were trying to find a cheaper car insurance or cheaper home insurance. We got rid of it. The only way you could get a quote from my agency with all the marketing we did is you had to pick up the phone and call. It didn't matter if it was 3 in the morning. Good morning. It didn't matter if it was on Easter Sunday. You would still get a live person. And if we couldn't give you a quote right then and there, if we couldn't give you award-winning service right then and there, we had your number and we could get back to you within a couple of hours. We had to get them on the phone to sell them. If that lady who owns Beauty Mark, if she had somebody that she was paying 10 bucks an hour, 15 bucks an hour, somebody following a script, they would have answered my wife's call. They would have booked the appointment for that week, and they would have had $130 of revenue in the cash register. Plus the fact my wife Krista is looking for a place down here to get her hair cut, to get her highlights done. Plus I get my hair cut down here at different places. I haven't picked one barber shop. So I'm a prospect to go there as well because they do men's hairstyling. Just an absolute blown lead. An absolute, that's how losing is done. And you know, when shit hits the fan, it'll be like you'll go by a place like that and it'll be closed. They didn't renew the lease. Or in the barbering and hairstyling industry, the death march is when they move home. What happened to your salon? Oh, I'm working out of my home now. What happened to your barbershop? Oh, I'm cutting hair out of my home in my garage now. And that's the death march to the end. My barbershop, are you kidding me? We answer the phone live 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day, a barbershop. And the only thing that we offered is we offered online appointments, and we did that because of the China virus. That's the only reason that I surrendered to that garbage. And you know what? Some people, but at least they don't fall through the cracks. You know, people can go on the website, they can book their time, they can book their day, and all this other stuff. But you know what? We don't have a chance then to upsell them. We don't have a chance to give them the bump. We don't have a chance to sell them more products. None of that stuff that we do on the phone. And you know what? We have a 97% show up rate when the appointment in our barbershop was booked on the phone. Think about that. When we talk to the person on the phone, 97 men out of 100 showed up for their appointment. Well, guess what? When Tomato Can Goofy booked his appointment online on his phone, did it himself, distracted, all that other stuff that goes with it, You know, watching videos at the same time, watching TikTok, and booking his haircut, 57%. Only 57% actually showed for their appointment. That means I had 4 barbers at one time. I ended up with 2 barbers for better profitability. That means my 2 barbers, at least 40% of the time, were left standing with their thumb up their ass. Joe didn't show. Tim didn't show. Mike didn't show. Where's Terry? He booked online. I would take that online booking if I owned the barber shop, and I would throw it. I would take it behind the shed. I would beat it dead with a hammer, and I'd never speak of it again. Online booking. I'm in the personality business. I'm in the marketing business. I'm in the money business. I need to talk to people to sell them. I need to talk to people to close them. I need to talk to people to have their attention. I can't do it with the frazzled and the lost and the medicated and the texting and the tasking. I can't do any of it. So, hello. So that's really, if I'm in any business now, back on the phone. There was another story. Oh yeah, I'm trying to get an art teacher. I'm trying to get an art teacher for, it's funny, some people are afraid of animals, right? They're afraid of dogs. I'm a big Caesar Milan, the dog whisperer. Did you see when that dog came running? So it's the law of the jungle, right? Like, I have zero fear. I have zero fear of animals. I have zero fear of dogs. But do you see how an animal senses? They sense whether you're afraid. They sense whether you're not afraid. They sense whether you're a person that can be messed with. They sense whether you're a king or whether you're a bootlicker. Same for people. Women can sense your neediness. They can sense power. They can sense all that stuff. Those girls back there, they're all running around chasing the dog. That dog never came within 15 feet of me. And if he did, there's zero problem. I've been around dogs my whole life. We have dogs. I've rescued dogs. But that's an energy thing. I didn't talk to the dog. You didn't see me back up. You didn't see me make eye contact. That's all Caesar Milan. And that's the same with humans. If you're needy, if you're bleeding neediness, you repel money. You repel success. You repel influence. You repel power. So how you carry yourself is my point, is everything. Everything. That dog came a second time there, and it's just like, I'm like the lion. I'm like Shyt. I don't talk to it. I don't backpedal. I don't show any fear. There isn't any fear. And it just circles and goes. And that's a friendly dog. That's a friendly dog. But some people would back up and scream and yell and make a scene, and then the dog is like energized and frazzled. And so how your energy is everything. How are you showing up? Are you showing up as a certain confident, good body image, good body language king? Or are you attracting? Are you attracting losing through neediness, through all the opposite of showing up like a king and a champion? So there was one other story where I don't even know if I can remember. Every single day I try to spend money. Every single time, every day I try to spend money in Canada and the United States. And it's next to impossible with these businesses. But the charity ball, the 50-year charity ball is over. Okay, we're heading into winter now. It's my prediction that we're going to be in this economic winter for the next 3 to 5 years. And I couldn't be happier. I think that it's long overdue. I think that when you see businesses that don't return phone calls, when you see restaurants that can't get an order correct, where you have coaches and consultants who've never ever won anything, you know, making a living teaching other people how to win. When you see people, you see sloth and laziness everywhere and incompetence, then the correction for that is a tough economy. All of a sudden you see fake book, you know, they laid off 14,000 people. You have Google, 10,000 people. You know, anti-social media and big tech is being exposed for the fraudulent criminal empire it was. You're seeing Amazon bleeding. You're seeing, you know, the Disney, you know, Walt would be turning over in his grave. You know, the woke folk at Disney are destroying that company. Their movies are bleeding millions, if not billions of dollars. And people are voting with their feet in their wallet. Nobody wants to watch any of that shit. Nobody wants to watch, you know, any of that virtue signaling stuff. That's why I stopped watching pro sport. I love basketball, I love football, I love hockey, I love tennis, I love golf. But I don't want to turn on the TV and be preached to by a guy with an IQ of 98 who can hit a ball 400 yards. I don't need to turn on the television and listen to some 7-foot tall basketball player from Akron, Ohio, tell me how to think, how to raise my family. So I'll watch a little bit of the games. I watch a little bit of the Super Bowl. I watch a little bit of hockey, a little bit of tennis, but and just the game. I don't watch any of the pre-game stuff. I don't read anything about it. I can do without the virtue signaling. I can do without the woke folk in pro sport. So the other one I was going to tell you about, good morning. The other story I was going to tell you about was what a word. And we're trying to find an art teacher for my daughter, Emery. Emery is a gifted kid in terms of art. She loves to sketch. She loves to draw. She loves to paint. So if you saw her drawings, you'd be just like, wow. But we've never helped her develop the skill. So I said to Krista, I said, you know, she has a tennis coach, she has a math coach, she has a chess coach. Why in the hell does she not have an art coach, and see if she does really have gifts and whether she can develop this? And so what do? Dan Lazonis, the Einstein wizard, the creator of the Einstein blueprint, takes time out of his day and finally sends me a referral, right? He's like, Michael, here's an art teacher that comes highly recommended. My daughter's friend has been studying with him for 10 years. And coaches are hard to find, right? Mentors are hard to find. Good teachers are next to impossible to find. Like, that's why we've been through 3 tennis coaches. That's why I coach my kid in skating. That's why I coach my kid in hockey. That's why I coach my kid now in tennis. Like golf coaches, tennis coaches, piano teachers. They're incredibly, incredibly hard to find because only 1% of them are any good. Only 1% are any good. The rest are just phoning it in, mailing it in, and punching a clock. You need to find that coach for your child, the mentor, the teacher, even consultants who just live it. Like, I live this stuff, right? I may not be always right. I may not always be your cup of tea and all that stuff, but you can never say I'm not all in. Like, I am all in. I am all in. And I'm a hard ass, and it irritates and upsets a lot of people. But I'll tell you right now is nobody cares more about the business than I do. Nobody cares more about shooting videos and writing newsletters and mailing telegrams and running masterminds than I do. I eat, sleep, and breathe it. It's right there. It's in my DNA, it's in my blood. If I do something, I do it all the way. And if I can't do that, or if I don't do that, that's the day you'll see me disappear. So one last story about the art teacher. So we call this person, he's got the fancy art website, of course, right? It's telling us to do 20 different things. It has everything offered there. A website's supposed to do one thing. It's supposed to sell one product. That's it. So if you have 10 products, you should have 10 landing page websites. But nonetheless, this one here is fancy dancy, black and white, bells and whistles. So I call the guy, and of course there's no answer. He's an artist, right? He's obviously working on his ethics somewhere. So it goes unanswered. I leave a voicemail. This is 5 days ago, last Friday. So I do what my wife Krista does. I fill out the form on the site. What do I want? Oh, it's for private lessons. That's what it is. So I leave my name. I leave my cell phone number, which I almost never do. I leave my email, and I leave a short message of exactly what I want. If he can read, well, he'll know. If he has an attention span, he'll know. So here we are. I'm shooting this on Wednesday morning before my world building mastermind, and not a word. Not a word. Nobody has returned my phone call. He's a one-man show, you can tell. Nobody's sent me an email, and nobody has responded to my request to give him money. It's like $150 an hour, right? So if we do an hour a week, $150 a week times 50 weeks, you do the math. We're willing to invest that money to see if it's a good investment. Can't spend it. Can't spend it. Now, he may return my call, but it's 5 days. Tomorrow will be 6 days. So, you know what? Some artists deserve to starve. Some piano teachers deserve to starve. We got rid of our tennis teacher this week. That's the second one. Third one I had to fire. Looking at his watch, mailing it in, doesn't know how to coach, doesn't know how to teach, hasn't read a book on coaching, hasn't read a book on tennis, doesn't watch tennis movies. Talking to him is like talking to a puddle that's about a centimeter deep. And he calls himself a tennis coach. So I'll take it from here. I have a hopper with 100 balls. I can teach my kid how to play tennis a lot better than any other person. I just wanted to delegate that one thing to a pro. Well, it makes it, there is no pros. We couldn't find a pro. We couldn't find a tennis instructor who was living it. We couldn't find a tennis instructor with passion and obsession. So tennis pros, some of them deserve to starve. Restaurant owners, some of them deserve to starve. Coaches and consultants like me will deserve to starve. Just go on and on through it. Some eye doctors, some dentists. Oh, it's so tough out there, and you know the economy is so difficult, and it's just one excuse after another. A badass world builder makes their own economy. And on one final note, because winter's here, because the economy's getting tougher, because there's a thinning of the herd, most business owners and entrepreneurs are scared shitless. They've gone home, they're in the fetal position, hiding under the bed. They got 3 masks on, and they're waiting for CNN to tell them when it's okay to come out. It might be okay for them to come out from underneath the bed in 3, 4, 5 years. But they're gonna wait until CNN or Creepy Joe or the vice president tells them it's okay to prosper. Not yours, Relentless. We are scaling all of our online ads. We're scaling our offline ads. We're doing full-page magazines. We want to sell more books in the next 12 months, in the next 24 months, than we have in the last 3 years. Everything we're doing right now is balls to the wall, everything. And that's the Earl Nightingale principle of looking around and seeing what is everybody else doing and doing the exact opposite. So everybody is playing defense. Everybody is swinging from their heels. Everybody is scared and afraid. And everybody has a scarcity mindset. So what will Sir MJM do? I will swing from my toes. I'll wake up every morning and play offense. I will invest like never before in my business. I will sell, 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 sell. I will follow up like never before. I will become lean and mean. Our business will be more profitable, leaner and meaner than ever before. We'll work harder, we'll work smarter. Every day, play to win. Every day, play to win. 99% playing not to lose, playing in the fetal position. We're like, get on your toes and swing for the fences. So I'm burning the boats, I'm burning the ships, and we're taking the island in 2023. There's never been a better opportunity in your life now for separation season to stack the deck, to invest more in your marketing, more in your advertising, and to basically separate yourself from the crowd over the next 3 to 5 years. This is the time, and remember where you heard it first, this is the time where you need to make your money. This is the time where, good morning, this is the time, good morning, this is the time when the big dogs get bigger. This is when the rich get richer. This is when the smart get smarter. And they just go on an all-attack assault. Like, admittedly, I'll tell you, I just got finished over the last Monday and Tuesday. Guess what yours Relentless was investing in? I'm an investor and a trader personally, and I have a guy that you know, invests for me. But guess what yours Relentless was trading, was buying on Monday and Tuesday? Banks, small independent banks. The entire world is blowing up. CNN, Fox News, everybody is screaming the end of the earth, the coming apocalypse. The banks, they don't have any money, 70% down, 90% down, everybody bailing out of banks. I knew that the government was cool. I just had a feeling the government was going to prop some of these up, like auto companies. I had my guy buy on Monday, not even Tuesday. On Monday. Well, guess what major bounce we had on Monday? After the banks, after the bank fiasco on Thursday and Friday, guess what happened on Monday? They bailed them out on Sunday. Yours Relentless has bought a whole bunch of stock in small independent banks in Canada and the United States. I'm in for the long term, by the way. And I already had a huge bounce in my first day and a half. Huge bounce. So what I do, I took Uncle Earl's advice. I looked around at what everybody was doing, running and screaming from banks. I said, oh my God, the majority has to be dead wrong. They're dead wrong about everything, especially money. And when everybody was selling, I did like Warren Buffett and started buying. Banks, 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 banks. I'll take some losses on a couple of these things. A couple of them won't work out. But the majority, about 70% of what I bought, will turn into long-term, get rich slowly investments. I'll keep these things for the next 10, 15, 20 years. I love investing in banks. It's get rich slow. It's get rich slow. And that's okay by me. So doing the exact opposite of everybody around you. It's been quite a week for that, for just looking around and doing the exact opposite. Look around at how everybody else does their marketing, do the opposite. Look around and see how everybody else does their customer service, do the exact opposite. Look around and see how every consultant, coach, mentor, small business owner, good morning, medium-sized business owner, see how they do business, do the exact opposite. Look around and see how people are spending their money, how they're behaving, how they're thinking, what they're eating, what they're drinking, all of that, and take Uncle Earl's advice and do the exact opposite. And you know what? There'll be millions and millions of bitter casualties over the next 5 years. Bitter casualties. Oh, I never saw this coming, and oh my God, creepy Joe Biden and the Democrats and the Republicans, and just on, burying themselves in BS. Not yours Relentless. There's never been a better time to be alive. There's never been a better time to be in business. We are awash in wealth, opportunity, and like never before. 2023 is the year where you can totally separate yourself from the crowd, personally and professionally. Everybody else is going to be on their heels. You need to be playing offense every day. I tell my kid every day, I'm like, play offense, Emery, play to win. Play to win. She's playing tennis, she's going to math, she's going to school, whatever she's doing, play to win. Play to win. Her dog walking business, play to win. Be aggressive, be relentless. Play to win, get on your toes, swing for the fences. Burn the boats and take the island. That's it for today. If you're not on my fax list, you need to be on my fax list. I send a free weekly fax, and it's some of my best marketing, sales, and advertising information. It could be an article I find in Success Magazine or Fortune Magazine. It could be something I write personally. It's something that I discover studying 5-6 hours a day, and it's completely free. All you have to do is reply with your number to this email, and it'll go to Leanne and Mark, and they'll add you to my weekly fax list. Yes, fax list. If you don't have a fax machine, you can buy a software. This is what some people use. It's called MFax, and we'll put it in the PS here. It's an inexpensive software that allows you to receive faxes by email. So if you don't have a fax machine, no problem. You can set up, a number. Allergies, hay fever. You can set up a fax using MFax, and the software link is in the PS in this email, and I'll put the software link below this as well. And I fax once a week. It's my marketing, advertising, it can be articles, it's pearls that I don't share anywhere else, and it's free. There's no obligation. I don't sell anything. Like I'll put a pitch in a PS of it, maybe like in my emails or my videos, but it's 95% content, and it's some of my very, very best stuff. So I fax every week, usually on a Friday or a Monday. If you want to be on that list, then reply to this email, and Mark, Andre, and Leanne will add you. Just change the subject line and put fax and include your number, and we'll add you to the list. You can also email your fax to Leanne, so Leanne at badassmillionaire.com. Leanne is spelled Leeann at badassmillionaire.com. How do you like my spelling? It's like my daughter's math. Strong men tremble when I do math, so I'm gonna make sure that my daughter doesn't have any of the disadvantages or ailments that I had from the public school system. I'm giving her a full-out assault, unfair advantage. In hockey, it's called playing with like you have an extra man on the ice. In football, it's like you have another player on the field. In basketball, it's like you have another player on the court. That's what I want for my kid. Unfair stacked deck. Stopping drinking alcohol for me was stacking the deck. I just gave myself an even more unfair advantage by not drinking for the last year and a bit. So just keep stacking the deck for yourself, playing offense. Never been a better time to be alive. We're in trillions of dollars of wealth. There's money, rivers of money everywhere. Go stand in those rivers. Get around wealthy people, read wealthy magazines, get around money, get around success. It rubs off. Opportunity unlimited. You can have a website, a sales page up in 2 to 3 hours. You can market to 8 billion people. There's never been more wealth, opportunity. There's never been more abundance than there is now. And get off those places like CNN and politics and anti-social media where they tell you differently. They want to keep you controlled. They want to keep you weak. They want to keep you in fight or flight. They want to keep you depressed. They want to keep you anxious. They want to keep you mentally ill. Just curate and swift sword and cut the rope with all that negative stuff, and just read good books, walk, drink water, and write every day, and your life will be transformed. Your life will be transformed. Good in, good out. Kick ass and take names. Never been a better time to be alive than right now. Make sure you cash it in. Make sure you cash it in over the next 3 to 5 years. Make as much money as you humanly possibly can. Get yourself into a safe harbor position. Get your business ready to sell. get in a position. You don't have to, but be in a position where you can walk away into the sunset, like I've done on 3 different occasions, selling 3 different companies, where you can, if you have to sell over the next 3 to 5 years, go all in on the next half decade. It'll be the best strategy you ever had. Go all in, burn the ships, and take the island over the next 5 years. When everybody's hiding, you be doing the exact opposite, swinging for the fences. That's it. 2 words that changed my life. 2 words that'll change yours. Reply to this email and send Leanne your fax number. I'll add you to the list. 2 words that changed my life. 2 words that'll change yours. Be relentless.